Hello. This video is going to be a bit different from the other videos on my channel, which isn't many, but this is going to be a discussion on the Heroes Ultimatum server, which I'm a part of. If you're not aware what Heroes Ultimatum is, or you don't care, what it basically is it's a Roblox My Hero Academia game that's been in development for about a year, 2 years. It was first started by a man named Colossal, well-known Roblox developer. He made the game, and it died within a week. And then it was taken over by a new owner, Mystified, or Jovan. So he took over at around, if you look, 2021, like basically an entire year ago, a little bit more. And it was, it was well received. People were excited. They wanted the game to come out soon. It was very, very good. But eventually he closed down the game, and well, that's been it. Ever since May 14th, 2021, and the game closed down, the game's been out. No one's played it, and the only people who have access to it are people who are friends of Mystified, or they just have special permissions in the server. An example of some of these would be moderators and special testers, which are usually just people close to Mystified or close to mods. I'm going down the studio news, and this is just a few things that Mystified has said before. He used to be very, very consistent with announcements and things that people wanted to know, but here's where the problem starts. Ever since a few months ago, and maybe even a bit later, or earlier, it's been radio silent. Thing is, firstly, he made a few things for an invite on a One Piece game, and ever since then, it's been nothing. He posted a picture about Thanksgiving, holidays, and a failed, well, not failed, but sort of like a looked over transition to studio, which is still in the process. If you look over here with his other games, Pirate's Dream and Grand Kaizen, one of the events that happened was there was a name change called August 15th. People thought it was a release date, or at the very least a tester date, and it wasn't. If you can see right here, he just said it was a benchmark for him, and going into testing with private testers. Anything else that's, whatever. After all that, new testers were announced for. Here they are. And, well, then the final message, or near final message that came out that really got everyone's attention was this message on October 1st, saying that a release was planned for that day, or at least testing, either that day or the day afterwards. But as you can see, it's the 7th of October as I'm making this, and the game hasn't been out. And the reason for that is the game was delayed again. It went from Heroes Ultimatum October 2nd and 1st to Heroes Ultimatum October. And the reason for this is because one of the developers did not send in the UI scripts before going on a trip away. As of recently, it's been said that a new developer gave him the UI scripts, and, well, that's it. And that's where we are today. The main problem with this is not exactly the delays or the lack of communication, although those are still very big issues that need to be fixed soon. The issue is the community. I don't want to go into general. I've actually been staying away from that because I'm afraid of any spoilers or terrible things that might be there. As a moderator from the server, I've been, what's the word? Exposed to some of the bad things in this server. The thing is, it's just the community is very, very, very toxic. When the game was delayed, there were IP grabs and there was posting of CP involving Eri and Deku, and there was also a lot of spamming, to which I muted nearly at least 50 people. It was a very bad thing. The only reason I wanted to make this video is to explain some of the things that are going on in Heroes Ultimatum and to send a message out to the community to ask for change. The main issue is the release. By this point, everyone already knows that the reason the game was delayed is because of the UIs not being sent in, and that still holds true. Many people have been asking why the game can't be released without those new UIs, and just why not old ones won't suffice. And the reason for that is because there are new features and new menus that were built on that new UI that would not work with the old one. So that is a large priority that is being worked on. Another thing is that although the UIs are sent in, they still need to be scripted in, tested somewhat, and worked out before the release. Normally they would have had time to do this, but the situation came up and all that. Another main reason that the game might not come out for a while or soon is because Mystified is actually in the process of having a child. Now, having a child itself normally wouldn't stop him completely from just releasing the game, but it does bring some delays. Taking care of the child, taking care of the mother, being a part of the birth, all that is much more important than a Heroes Ultimatum, My Hero Academia Roblox game. So chances are that's going to be taken double priority from Mystified. Despite all that, the game should still come out relatively soon, obviously in October. If we're lucky, maybe he will be able to get the game out before or directly after his child is born and be able to spend time with his child without worrying about too many things. And with that, that covers everything that's going on with Mystified in the dev community. As of now, none of the developers have said anything. It's been radio silent ever since this final message on October 3rd and October 2nd. And most of the news and sub-news has been taken over by moderators and the community manager, Spider-Man is Kulo. Next main issue is the community. As it stands right now, the community is very toxic. They are aware of rules, they just don't follow them, and that itself is just a given, but the problem is a lot of them do very bad things. They post things that are not safe for work or even in some cases illegal. They constantly harass members, make over false accusations, or just make false accusations in the first place. Or they might steal IPs like they did with a member, which I will go over right now, Frost Melody. Frost Melody is a new junior moderator to the Heroes Ultimatum server, and recently he was involved in an issue where he, a 14-year-old, said the Dream Sus lyrics to a 16-year-old and was called a pedophile. This is obviously something that was most likely joked around until it became full-blown harassment, which required the muting and banning of several members. This by itself is not okay. A member should not be constantly harassed in a server just because of an accusation or something that was just blatantly untrue. Despite Frost Melody's immature actions and despite his possible skill set not being worthy of junior moderator in the slightest, I still think that as a person what happened to him was not fair and that should not happen. So as a message to any Heroes Ultimatum players who are in the server or will join the server, please have compassion for those by you. Don't commit anything or do anything that would harm them in real life or even on the internet. Please be mindful of your actions and be mindful of others. We are aware that the game being delayed this much is something that shouldn't have happened, but there's nothing we can do about it, and all we can do is move forward. When the game does come out, we will be sure to make sure everything goes in order in the server and in the game. So, if you can take it from me, someone who was wrong before about the game, this time will be different. All you have to do is wait. Thank you.